NK Telco Sports welcomes you to our coverage of high school basketball, where the Newton Indians will take on the Troy Christian Eagles. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, Cargill, and NK Telco. You're looking live at the Hive here at Sydney High School. My name's Brandon Koopman, and alongside me, Craig Louth. And Craig, sectional final matchup here tonight between the Western Ohio Athletic Conference and Shelby County Athletic League. First, taking a look at the Newton Indians. They get just over 500 with an opening round win over Calvary Christian. It was a rout, 63-26 the final. Reese Hess leading Newton in that game with 31 points. Newton overall finishing 5th in the Western Ohio Athletic Conference, looking to pull off a little bit of an upset here tonight.
Yeah, that's their most wins, the 12 wins, most wins since the 16-17 season. And as you mentioned, they're led by Reese Hess. She leads them in everything, 14.7 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, 3.6 steals, 2.2 assists, so she's the real deal.
And looking on the flip side, the Russia Raiders, they're at 12-10. They got the 7th seed, lost 2 games down the stretch to Marion and a very good Fort Laramie team. But before that was a team that had really gone on fire, a team that had started out slow but now has come a long way and looking to make a little bit of noise in the tournament.
Yeah, they're towards the end of the season. They ended the season at 6-2, and they're led by Ronnie Poling. She is the co-player of the year in the Shelby County Athletic League with Avery Brandewy of Fort Laramie. She comes in averaging 14 points and 9 rebounds. So we ought to be in for a good one. I mean, they're kind of evenly matched, but as you mentioned, Shelby County Athletic League against the Western Ohio Athletic Conference.
And we'll kick it down to our public address announcer. We'll have the national anthem, starting lineups, and keys to the game here next on NK Telco Sports.
The Hometown Opportunity Platform is exceptional.
It is focused, laser focused on the careers in our 4-county region.
100% of the time we go to Hometown Opportunity. We've had great success from a handful of applications when we need them, as well as a recent one where we had 67 applicants.
Honestly, it's a competitive advantage.
The hometown experience has been everything I could have dreamed of and more.
And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. The Newton Indians will be the guest on the scoreboard. The Russia Raiders will be the home team. Now first, taking a look for the Newton Indians. Number 2, a 5'4" senior, Brooke Hines. Number 5, a 5'7" senior, Reese Hess. Number 10, a 5'8" sophomore, Esty Rapp. Number 12, a 5'8" sophomore, Riley Hess. And rounding out the lineup, number 50, a 6-foot junior, Felicity Harbor. The head coach of the Newton Indians is Stephanie Landis in her first season. As Craig mentioned, Newton, their most wins since the 2016-17 season when they were led by a player that is volunteering on the staff this year. That is Tatum McBride, who played down at Lenore Rhine down in North Carolina. One other famous athlete came on Lenore Rhine, Kyle Duggar, safety for the New England Patriots. And now the starting lineups for the Russia Raiders. Number 4, Shelby County Athletic League Player of the Year, center Ronnie Poling. Number 20, coming off injury, Jayla Shappy. Number 21, junior Addison Shappy. At forward, freshman number 22, Celeste Borchers. And rounding out the lineup, a freshman number 32, all honorable mention in the Shelby County Athletic League, Hazel Francis. Head coach of the Russia Raiders in his first season is Michael Bayshore. Let's take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza in Newport, Ohio. First, taking a look for the Newton Indians.
For the Indians, they want to control the tempo of the game. Second, they want to play good defense. And third, they need to execute on offense.
And taking a look for the Raiders.
For the Raiders, they need to limit Reese Hess. She had 31, as you mentioned, Saturday, so they need to limit her. They need to limit their turnovers, and Coach wants to get off to a fast start.
And thanks to Keyhole Pizza for sponsoring those keys right off State Route 66 in Newport, Ohio. If it ain't Chunky Bob's Pizza, it's not pizza. As we get underway here, Poling and Harbor tip, and the tip is controlled by the Raiders. Hazel Francis gets it. She's going to take a quick 12-foot jump shot, and she'll get that to fall quickly. Russia leads on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
Nobody picked her up, so she just drove in, took the shot, good shot. First 2 points of the game.
Reese Hess is going to be guarded by Jayla Shappy. Shappy injured her wrist, missed the last couple games of the regular season. She's playing with that tape on her left hand. Very good softball player as well. Will be for Coach Kenley Ludlow here in a few weeks when that season kicks off. She's going to draw the assignment of Hess, and Hess's first shot well off the mark. And it's going to go the way of the Raiders.
I'm looking forward to the game between number 50, Felicity Harbor, and number 4, Ronnie Poling. Both girls with good size, down post players, so... Ooh.
And that's a steal outside. Rapp up ahead, and we're knotted up at 2 on a steal and score by SD Rapp. Shappy penetrates the lane, kicks out in the corner to Celeste Borchers, looking for the entry over there to Ronnie Poling. Francis' shot short, and she fouled. And it'll go the way of the Newton Indians.
First foul of the ball game.
And one of the interesting things you see we should play some Western Ohio Athletic Conference teams. Newton's not a team that you generally see during this season. So Ronnie Poling's been facing a lot of double teams this year, triple teams even. You see her kind of go one-on-one with Harbor there early on. We'll see if the Raiders can get her the ball on the inside.
Yeah.
Borchers
nice defense.
Deflects the ball, takes it away. Jayla Shappy gets it off the steal by the freshman Borchers. Coach Bayshore shouts out the instructions to his team, first-year head man. The Raiders will be guides to their 4th straight winning season. Look on the back screen, goes to Shappy. Back to Celeste Borchers. And there's an illegal screen. Shappy was never set. And that'll be a turnover on the Raiders.
That'll be her first, team second.
Now with the open sectional this year, the Southwest District, a little different, but Russia traditionally coming back to Sydney where they always are used to playing. So this gym very familiar to Raiders fans. Newton was used to playing generally in Versailles as Harbor's shot on the inside, can't finish. Shappy up ahead. Celeste Borchers gives a high shot fake on the inside. Borchers' shot pops out, goes to Addison Shappy. Right side, and Hazel Francis gets that high ball fake. Francis on the inside, up and off the glass, and Hazel Francis with all 4 Raider points.
There's those second chance points.
Francis, just a freshman, honorable mention in that Shelby County Athletic League. And Shappy was touching the sideline and will stay with Newton. Oh, they must have said.
Yeah, they reversed it,
Huh.
Yep. Second turnover on the Indians.
5:23 to go in the first. Raiders doubling up the Indians 4-2. Shappy goes on the left side to Hazel Francis. Francis gets that ball taken away by the senior, Brooke Hines. Ball on the floor. Jump ball is going to keep it with the red and black.
Kind of looked like a hot potato there. Nobody wanted it.
Yeah. Brooke Hines will have it on the baseline. Box set for the Indians. And the Raiders take it right back. A little sloppy on both sides early on.
Each team 3 turnovers.
Francis' shot no good. Shappy will get the rebound going up, and she's fouled. That's the thing. Even Russia hasn't not played since last Thursday, so they've had 12 days in between games. Newton obviously was playing the opening round Saturday. The Raiders took the bye. Shappy's first free throw gets a nice assist from the bank board. So we have our first substitutions in. Maya says Sulky into the lineup. That's going to be a tough one to say all night. And Claudia Haney in for Rushi. Sakal.
It doesn't look like, yeah.
I think it's maybe Polish.
Yeah, something.
As Shappy splits the free throws. Hines with it to the left side. Out near that Sydney logo. Being guarded by Hazel Francis. To the right side, Reese Hess driving that baseline. And might have got away with a walk, and it's called late by the far official. But the right call indeed.
Yep. Trying to create something, and she was in the land of the Giants, and nothing to do there.
Addison Shappy with the basketball. Up to Haney. Haney over to the left side to Hazel Francis.
Ooh.
Francis gets around over to Poling. Poling right side, Jayla Shappy. Shappy rejects the screen, now goes around it. On the exchange to Haney. Harper's done a nice job in limiting Poling's touches.
Yeah, they are.
Francis gives that patented high ball fake. Gets it out to Shappy. Shot fake in the lane through the contact, no good. Shappy gets an offensive board though. There's just clear everything out.
It's 3 offensive boards already for the Raiders.
High shot, no good. Rebound tips around and Brooke Hines has it. Feeds it up ahead. Shot up off the glass. Can't finish and Poling clears the boards. Addison Shappy goes left side to her cousin Jayla Shappy. Screen. Raiders very congested on the offensive end. Not a lot of spacing. Francis going to drive inside. Reverse his course. Back to Poling. Back to Shappy. On the inside to Haney. They get it to Poling. And she can't finish on the inside. Missed opportunity for the Raiders.
They finally got her an open shot down low.
And just missed it. We have a couple misses on the inside. And the Raiders take it away. Another turnover. Haney up ahead. Back to Shappy, who gives it up to Hazel Francis, who drives to the rack. And Hazel Francis has got 3 field goals in the quarter. We got a full timeout. All timeouts brought to you by our sponsors at Precision Strip. We'll step aside. 2:32 to go in the opening quarter. Rushi 7, Newton 2 here on NK Toko Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We are certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Well, back here on NK Telco Sports, 7-2 our score here. Rushi ahead of Newton with 2.5 to play in the first quarter, and Hazel Francis taking over the ball game early here, Craig.
Oh, yeah, she's got 6 of the 7 Rushi points and on 3 of 5 shooting. So rebound-wise, it's 6-4, Rushi.
Maya Denlinger will come in for Newton, and also for Rushi, Faith York will come in. Newton takes it out on the sideline. Hines gets it into Harbor. Outside, he gets it up to Maya Denlinger. Denlinger being turned by York. Denlinger gives it back up to Sakal. Harbor on the exchange. Gets it around to Hess, who turns around and scores.
Nice shot from the free throw line. Didn't look like she was set.
No. Shappy gives it out up over to Haney. Haney, the high ball fake. Give it back out to Addison Shappy. York, left side to Jayla Shappy. Gets the screen from her senior teammate Poling. Little weave action for the Raiders, trying to get Poling open, it looks like. Ball to the left side, York. York back to Shappy. She'll fire a high arcing three. Too much off the board, but rebounded by York. Pass to Poling. She can't convert on the inside. York throws it up. Gets another offensive board. And eventually, if you're the Raiders, that offensive rebounding is going to take toll.
Yeah.
As Newton only trails by 3 here in the first quarter. York with it, back to Haney. Shappy gets it out to Poling. Back to Jayla Shappy. She's just screening away. We got to push away from the ball. The foul going to go against Maya Sekal.
That's her first, team second here in the first quarter.
Two in the block, two in the corner for the Raiders. They're going to double Poling off the inbound. And Raiders threw it right to her. It's going to go out on the other end. Who'd it go off of last? They're going to give it to the Raiders. 41.7 seconds left. Rushi leads 7-4 on that First National Bank, first scoreboard.
You can tell the Newton fans not happy with that call.
High ball fake by Shappy, back to Jayla. She gives the high shot fake, and that's a jump ball that they're going to call. I believe that should be a jump. Looking at the other official, I think a jump. Oh, no, they're going to give a foul.
Ooh, that's her second.
It's Mia Sekal's second. Celeste Borcher subs back in for Rushi. Tough break. I thought she had contact with the ball. You get Celeste Borcher's cutting the basket. High off the glass, no good. Haney high off the glass. Rushi's missed some golden opportunities from the inside early. Haney gives a shot fake. She drives on the inside. That's Sekal's foul. That's her third in the first quarter. Now quickly, Brooke Hines off the bench.
So far, Rushi, 8 offensive rebounds.
You always say you got more offensive rebound than points. And
yeah.
It sounds nice, but you eventually hope that translates into more points if you're Coach Bayshore. Haney hits the front end here. Brooke Hines into the ball game. As Haney swishes the first. Haney fires away from the line, and she got it. 9-4 Raiders with 14 seconds to go in the first. Maya Denlinger with the basketball. Goes back to Riley Hess.
Oh.
And there's a foul. It's going to go against the Raiders. So block there. Coach Bayshore wanting an illegal screen. It's going to go against Jayla Shappy. That'll be
her second.
Second, yeah. Immediately, Hazel Francis off the bench. 6 seconds to go in the quarter with a chance to do something here. Trying to get it into Harper. They get it into her wide open under the basket. Shot is good and one. Felicity Harper with the hoop and the harm. And she'll head to the line.
Fouls on Ronnie Poling. Her first.
Addison Shappy will sub in for the Raiders.
Harper's a 44% free throw shooter, 25 of 57.
Her shot off the mark. Rebound rattles around. Newton will just throw it up. Shot no good. Poling clears the boards. And we've played 1 quarter of basketball. As the Rushi Raiders lead the Newton Indians 9-6 after 1 quarter of play. We'll step aside, come back with our second quarter of action here next on NK Toko Sports. We've played one quarter here in the sectional finals here at Sydney High School, and 9-6, close score. Rushi dominated the offensive glass, just not able to convert on the inside. We talked about the factor of them having 12 days off between games can be really effective.
Yeah, they had 11 rebounds total, 8 of those on the offensive board, compared to a total of 5 for Newton.
And Coach Bayshore does not see what he likes, taking a precision strip timeout. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, because without them, we would not be able to bring you this broadcast. They are Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, the Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. Our scoreboard sponsors, the First National Bank, Keys to the Game, Keel Pizza. All timeouts are brought to you by Precision Strip. Our player of the game, which Craig and I will select at the end of the game, is brought to you by NK Toko. Our mid and post-game stats are sponsored by Grand Lake Health Systems, and our live view sponsor for all games from Sydney High School, you can see right on your screen, is Cargill. So, Coach Bayshore, not liking what he sees. He calls Precision Strip timeout. Try to get a little regather here for his girls. We got a jump ball. Arrow will stay with the Newton Indians.
Yeah, Rushi's doing a good job of handling the ball. They only had 3 turnovers in the first quarter. Started out second quarter with 1, which caused the timeout.
Just trying to get his team under fire here. So they're looking to get to their 4th straight district semifinal. And Sydney High School has treated the Raiders very well. Them and the Fort Laramie Redskins very well over the past handful of years.
Is this the first year for Versailles?
Yes, first year for the open draw, because typically Newton would go to the Versailles district, or the Versailles sectional. So that's new with the open sectional this year. Newton, not a team that typically played here in the years past, in the old way, in the old format. Hazel Francis with it. Francis back to Addison Shappy. Over to Claudia Haney. Haney drives on the inside. Haney to the basket. And a nice tough take by the sophomore Claudia Haney.
Now with 4 points.
She's had a couple games. She's grown a lot throughout the year. Had a sister, Ella, that was very good. Had a sister, Ella, that played at Edison State, was very good player. As the score now 11-6. Rushi ahead of Newton. So again, the Raiders team that did not start off with the greatest record. It's 4-7, but really came alive the second half of the year, and a nice teardrop shot there by Addison Shappy.
She's got 3 now, largest lead. 7 points for Rushi.
Newton, who finished 5th place in that Western Ohio Athletic Conference, trying league-leading Tri-Village's Hess steps through lane. Her shot's no good. Newton finished behind. Tri-Village won the league. Arcanum, Mississinawa Valley, and Dixie. 3-pointer, Hazel Francis off the mark. Rebound going to tip down, fortunately for Ronnie Poling. Her shot off the mark. Poling with the rebound in the lane. Tried to kiss it off the glass. Tips it out. It'll be Newton basketball. Faith York quickly will sub in for Rushi.
Again, Ruschi crashing those offensive boards. Just can't get anything to fall.
Now subbing back in is Maya Sekal, who has 3 fouls. So an interesting move to bring in Sekal back in now.
Yeah. Coach Land, as soon as she seen Poling go out, she immediately took out Harbor.
And Ruschi caused the turnover. Makes it a short play, guard-dominated game here, really. Because Claudia Haney's on the floor. You can see she's being guarded by SD Rapp. You're going to stay in there man-to-man. Both teams been playing man-to-man all game. It's a time where if you're Claudia Haney, you got to get bigger in the post.
Yep.
Going to let your size take over a bit. So what she'll have to do next year with the impending graduation of Poling. 3-pointer from Celeste Borchers, in and out. Haney gets the rebound, goes up, her shot short, and Ruschi misses another golden opportunity. Raiders just not having any luck with the basket tonight.
11 offensive rebounds. That first quarter, they were 3 of 15 shooting. 3 of 14 from 2. So.
Don't shoot typically too many 3-pointers. As a lot of the emphasis of the offense has went through the hands of Ronnie Poling this year, and there's a turnover on the Indians' part.
8 total turnovers now.
Now subbing back into the lineup is Maya Denlinger, as Brooke Hines will come out. Winner of this game will get the winner of our next game, Covington and Troy Christian, a rematch of schools out of the Three Rivers Conference. Covington will finish second in that Three Rivers Conference behind undefeated Miami East. Shappy high, arcing 3, and she buries it from the right wing. You say the Raiders don't take too many threes, but their best three-point shooter, without a doubt, is Addison Shappy. Well, gets to Hines on the inside. Or, sorry, not Hines, Hess. Rebound down to Haney.
Raiders just controlling boards on both ends.
Nice pass by Borchers, but it got broken up. And by a retreating Riley Hess. Harbor and Poling come back in at the same time. All right, when are you bringing yours in? I'll bring in mine.
Little chess match going on.
And Poling scoreless yet. The Shelby County Athletic League Co-Player of the Year with Avery Brandaway. First Raider to get that honor since Maria Heron in 2017. Haney with it. Haney drives on the inside. The shot's no good. Rebound goes down to Newton. Hess with it, being guarded by York. Trying to go to the rack. Kicks it out to Harbor. John Newton with a mere 6 points this half. That's something to the right side in Harbor. Raiders with a 7-0 edge this quarter. Newton's going to get a shot off. It's so good, they're going to get an offensive rebound of their own. Ball tipped around, and the Raiders take it away. Borchers up ahead, around the defense, and there's
almost.
A block.
She almost put that in.
And she did a nice little Euro step through the lane there.
Yeah, she did.
Foul guy gets his first foul of the quarter. Yeah, and it's going to pop out. Callie Gubo going to come in, make her first appearance of the game. Hazel Francis comes in as Haney and Shappy exit out the ball game. And Borchers gets that one to fall. She cracks the box score. And it's 17-6, Raiders out ahead of Newton. So we'll stay here with Newton. Again, if you're interested in seeing our next game, Covington against Troy Christian, you can watch that game here live on NK Telco. Craig and I will have the call on that after the conclusion of this game. The winner will play the winner of this game. Ball back to Hess. She tries to drive baseline. Her shot off the mark as Poling clears the boards.
Yeah, if Newton wants to have any chance, they have to get Hess going here.
Francis gives it to York in the corner. Wide open, Borchers. Her shot off the mark. Rebound down to Francis, no good. Shot up and in by Ronnie Poling. There she is, her first points of the game.
Another offensive rebound.
Second chance opportunities. And the
Yep.
Raiders who think they can make a little noise in this tournament. They think they can get to that district final. They can get, possibly that regional for the second year in a row, even though it already didn't look like that early on in this season. Are really showing it lately. And they lead 20-6 despite not shooting well. Their offensive rebounding has taken over the game.
Yeah, the second half of the season, Russia was 8-3 overall.
Yeah, here image of that, the first half, just the opposite of that, the first half, it seemed like it just couldn't get much going. Young team, and there's a foul late. Now we'll see if that goes against Poling. That's all against Poling. That's her second.
Yep.
Late foul on that, and that foul going to go to Riley. Hess is going to go in the line. Good thing for Russia, they have a 14-point edge right now. And nice help from the backboard as that ball will fall for Riley Hess.
She's a 38% free throw shooter. 18 of 47 coming in. That's one thing that Newton is not very good at. They're only a 48.5% free throw shooting team.
Harbor goes up. Her shot no good off the rebound. And the Raiders get it. We get it back to Hazel Francis. Ball on the inside. Nice cut by Callie Gubo. Nice collapsing defense there by Newton. York gets it back to Celeste Borchers on the inside. Feeds Gubo. Gubo trying to go up. Nice defense by Newton. They'll tip it out of bounds. Russia getting some good looks.
Yes,
They're just not being aggressive enough downhill. As Addison Shappy will sub in, as Faith York will come out. Ball inbounded into Addison Shappy. She gives a shot fake back to Hazel Francis. Francis tries to work on the inside, and there's a foul. It's going to be a displacement foul. Go against Riley Hess.
It's going to be her second.
3 fouls, team fouls now on the Indians. Callie Gubo will inbound it for Russia. They get into a cutting Hazel Francis just under the bucket. And she gets her 4th field goal of the night and has a game-high 8. And she leads 22-7 on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Sectional final action here from the Hive. Division 4. Last year, these schools will be in that Division 4. Each of those schools will drop down to Division 7 next year. So this could be one of the last years we could have this city sectional. Don't know how the sectionals are going to break out next year. Yeah, so Raiders going to have a dead ball turnover there.
Yeah, that's be interesting to see how they're going to run the tournament next year.
Got a email about how the divisions would shake out as of now, and as of now, both these teams Division 7. Both these schools not being football schools. Ball over to Hess. She's a shot fake. For the Hines. Ball stolen. Hazel Francis trying to go to the basket, and she scores. Hazel Francis in double figures in the first half with 10. 24-7, Russia ahead of Newton. Here comes Hess to the basket, and her shot in and out.
They just can't buy a bucket.
Only one free throw this second quarter. And now Newton feeling the urgency, increasing with a little bit of backcourt pressure. Zone pressure here. Shappy gets around it, no problem. Up ahead to Celeste Borchers, who tries to feed, and a nice steal by Riley Hess. Hess in the lane. Her shot's good. Count it. And one. Riley Hess with a chance to old-fashioned three-point play.
Fouls on Callie Gubo.
Hess at the line, off the mark. Raiders will lock it up. 29 seconds to the halftime break. They lead by 15. Newton. This looks like they may be in a little bit of a matchup zone. Kind of what it looks like.
It does. They're going to get 12. Yeah.
Yes, that's her third.
It's going to be Hess's third.
It's 2 players with 3 fouls for Newton. It's going to bring in Maya Denlinger. Gubo inbounds the basketball. Ball into Addison Shappy. Coach Bayshore shouting out the instructions to his team. She drives on the inside. Francis out to Gubo. She's going to fire a high arcing 3. Clanks off the iron, no good. Rebound Newton. They're going to have to get off a half-court prayer. And she switched it at the horn. Reese Hess from mid-court. She got it. 24-12 when we go into the half. And Rushi with a 15-point explosion as we head to the halftime break here on NK Telco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Halftime here at the Hive, and the Rushi Raiders doubling up the Newton Indians by a score of 24-12. Let's take a look at our first half numbers, brought to you by our sponsors at Grand Lake Health Systems. And with those first half numbers, Craig Lau.
All right, for Newton, they were led in scoring by Reese Hess, who had 5 points. None bigger than that three-pointer at the buzzer from half court right before halftime. SD Rapp had 2, Riley Hess had 3, and Felicity Harbor had 2 for their total of 12. For the Rushi Raiders, they were led in scoring by freshman Hazel Francis with 10. Addison Shappy had 6. Claudia Haney had 4. Ronnie Poling had 3. And Celeste Borchers had 1 for their 24. Looking at the shooting for Rushi, they were 9 of 30 for 30%. Overall, 8 of 24 from 2, 1 of 6 from 3. They were 5 of 7 for 71% from the free throw line. Newton, on the other hand, 5 of 17 overall for 29%. 4 of 14 from 2, 1 of 3 from beyond the arc, and 1 of 4 from the free throw line. Looking at the rebounds, Rushi controlled the boards 24-10. 13 of those on the offensive side, and turnovers, Newton had 10 and Rushi had 6.
Thank you to Grand Lake Health Systems for sponsoring our statistics all season long as we're on our downswing in tournament time here. This basketball season, Hazel Francis with the basketball had a nice first half. Her shot no good, but another offensive board there momentarily, and we got a timeout taken by first-year head coach Michael Bayshore. All timeouts brought to you by our sponsors at Precision Strip. We'd like to thank those sponsors here. Those sponsors are Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Koki Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, the Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, St. Henry Bank, WCSM Radio, our scoreboard sponsors, the First National Bank. Keys to the game, Key Old Pizza. All timeouts are brought to you by Precision Strip. Our player of the game, which Craig and I will select at the end of the game, is brought to you by NK Telco. Mid and post-game stats are brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. And our Sydney Live View sponsor, which you can see right on your screen, is brought to you by Cargill. So, coming out of Precision Strip timeout, not much to say, just trying to get a possession there out the half.
Trying to save it.
But Francis in the lane, and she has been great tonight.
12 points now.
Yeah, great night for Hazel Francis. She's up to a dozen. The Raider lead up to 14. Hess on the inside, and
nice
she makes
crossover.
a nice move. Absolutely. She's got 7. Hit that buzzer beater.
A little pressure now by the Indians.
Great draw up there by Newton out the timeout. 3-pointer off the mark there by Hines, and it's going to be Newton basketball. Harbor gets the inbound. Harbor going to the basket, right over Poling. Gets her own offensive rebound and cleans up her own mess. Felicity Harbor cuts the lead to 10. Newton now applying a little pressure. Wide open to the corners. Borchers, great. Newton's done a nice job when the Raiders have penetrated to cut in front of them and take the ball away or deflect it. She's got to be a tad quicker with that pass.
Yeah, notice that in the first half when they would get low, they would hesitate and then pass it across the lane when they were right under the bucket. And I think one time Coach Bayshore just yelled, "Shoot the ball."
And again, a young team for the most part.
Yeah.
You do get a little timid. A lot of these guys, first-year varsity players outside of Ronnie Poling and Addison Shappy. Jayla Shappy got a brief sniff of the varsity at the end of the year last year due to some injuries the Raiders had.
First tournament game, probably have some jitters, butterflies.
Newton with a 4-2 advantage with 2 minutes into the quarter. And that's a hook foul on Celeste Borchers. A player control foul. That'll be a turnover on the Raiders.
It's her first. Team first.
By 10 in this sectional final. Again, winner gets Covington or Troy Christian. The winner of our next game. Hess with the basketball. Takes the 3. Shot off the mark. Poling tries to clear the boards. Couldn't stay in. To Harbor on the inside, who scores. And Newton on a 6-0 run. Yes, pressure. A little tricky for the Raiders. They get it to Poling on the inside. Her shot's up and in. Ronnie Poling with a big bucket. Lead grows back out to 10.
I think they got ST Wrap on that. Her first.
And that's the thing. The Raiders can break that pressure. You're going to get a lot of high looks for Poling. And she converts her second old-fashioned three-point play.
Now with 6 points.
29-18 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard with 5:12 to go in the third quarter. Spinning to the left side. Borchers deflects it. Nice hustle play, but Newton will retrieve it in backcourt. Side that ball tipped. And battle for it on the floor, and it'll stay with the Indians.
You've seen a lot of Rushi. This is the first time I've seen. I'm impressed with the girls, their quick hands. If Newton's not handling the ball very well or not protecting it, they're going to get it slapped away.
Hess with it. Bring it out toward the volleyball line. It's dead and takes away as Celeste Borchers. And Newton going to stay in that trap. Shappy trying to slither through the lane, gives it up to Celeste Borchers. Borchers on the inside. Back out to Addison Shappy. He tries to go the teardrop through the lane and got socked on the arm, and will go to the strike for 2 free throws.
12. That is Riley Hess's 4th foul here early. 3rd quarter.
A pair of substitutions will come in for Newton as Addison Shappy misses the high arcing free throw as Maya Sekal and Maya Denlinger come in the lineup. Should I say Mia Sekal? And second free throw is good by Shappy. She's quietly got 7.
Yeah.
Up on the right side. Hess trying to direct traffic for teammates. And there's the 5-second count. Her Raider fan yelling across the floor, and they get it there, and they get the turnover. Your voice is always faster than a whistle, as I always say. Francis right into the trap, gets that cross-court pass to Celeste Borchers. Haney is ready to shoot, misses. Off balance shot by Pulling, gets a nice Rushi roll in there, and she's got 8.
Another second chance point there. Now with 8 second chance points.
A little bit of a 6-0 Newton run, but the Raiders have now gone on 6 straight points of their self they've rattled off. Harbor gets it on the elbow, trying to go on the inside against Pulling. And Shappy gets the board. They're kind of just trailing that guard. Newton's kind of mixed up.
Nobody picked.
Yeah.
Oh.
And nobody picked Borchers up.
Yeah.
They're kind of getting a little mixed on that trap,
yes,
on who to cover. Harbor on the inside, and Felicity Harbor cuts the lead to a dozen. She's got 8. On the corner to Haney. Back to Celeste Borchers to Shappy. Right side, Hazel Francis. Francis on the inside, up against Harbor, and she's fouled. She gets redirected there.
Harbor's second, team third quarter.
As Hazel Francis will get a pair of free throws. Again, honorable mention on Shelby County Athletic League. Started her first night of varsity. Actually, that was at the Claytor Cedar Gymnasium. That's against Sydney. That was a Raider loss, but had a dozen points in that first game. So she's been impactful all year for this team, as Esty Rapp back in the lineup for Newton and Jayla Shappy back in for the Raiders, who had some foul trouble in the first half, as well as Francis splits from the line. Hazel Francis up to a baker's dozen and 13 points. Ball up to Hess. Reese Hess steps back, is going to fire a 3. Her shot off the mark. Rebound cleared by Poling. Shappy up ahead to her cousin Jayla, who gets blocked there on the inside. Newton trying to push it up the head themselves. Hess streaking to the basket, will just reverse course. It's on the right side. I tell you what, Harbor's done a nice job down there.
Yes, she is.
Newton. One of the better players that's really handled it well down there with Poling. Hess trying to drive. Her shot blocked there, and Haney comes down with the board. Shappy, one dribble, fires a high arcing 3. It's off the mark. And it tipped off of Newton, I believe, last. And will stay with the Rushi Raiders. Substitution back in. Brooke Hines going to come back in. Seniors on this team. Brooke for Newton and Brooke Hines, Reese Hess. So only 2 seniors on this roster for Newton. As Poling gets the bucket. She's now in double figures. For Rushi, it's Carly Scott, who's been injured all year. And there's a 3-ball hit by Brooke Hines.
It's her 10th one of the season. Now 10 of 42.
Zone pressure here by Newton. Rushi's got to get it around. Shappy in the corner to Jayla Shappy. Cross-court pass to Haney. She'll step into a little 10-footer, and that's her mark. That's her shot. Claudia Haney with a big bucket. She's got 6.
Coach Bayshore was calling for that one.
And that's the shot he's trying to get these girls to shoot. As Hines will get that stuck. And we might have to borrow a Rushi Raider boy sitting on the sideline to go get that one. There's a couple of them that can dunk it there. And Felix France is one of them that's going to come up and get that. And he's done a nice job. He was second team All-County in basketball last year. He's thrown down a handful of dunks this year. One that was a highlight, one that was trending on social media back in early January against New Bremen. I happened to see in person where Raiden Monin, his teammate, threw it off the backboard. He was trailing on a fast break and threw it down. It was one of the best dunks I've seen in a game or our area in a high school game. Kylie Dosek checks in the lineup for the Raiders for the first time, number 10. Primarily played on the JV squad this year. The Raiders turn it over on the inside. Look up ahead. Hess. 3 ball off the mark. Haney cannot track down the rebound. Newton coming on the inside. Hess, quick trigger 3 off the mark. And another offensive set here for the Newton Indians. Newton's played about even this quarter with Rushi. Gonna fire another 3 ball. Shot off the mark. Rebound down to Borchers. Raiders got 10 seconds to do something here. York up ahead. Shappy, 5 seconds to go. Cross-court pass. Can they get something off? Shot by Borchers, no good at the horn. And we head to the final 8 minutes of regulation. Rushi leads Newton 37-23. We'll step aside and come back with our 4th quarter of action here next on NK Toko Sports.
Kogi Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
The Steve Miller Band welcomes us back into this 4th quarter with 8 minutes to go here. It's a 37-23 lead for the Rushi Raiders over the Newton Indians. Kind of a couple runs by each team, with some small 6-0 runs there, but Rushi overall takes the quarter by 2 points, 13 actually to 11. Now it's kind of desperation time for the Indians, Craig.
Yeah, and you can tell there in the 3rd quarter they were 1 of 8 from 3-point land, while they were only 4 of 7 from 2. So they need to start taking the threes.
The winner of this game gets Troy Christian or Covington, and not a good start for Newton.
Well, there was a fairly clean 3rd quarter. Both teams only had 2 turnovers. But that's a tough one there for Newton.
Raiders haven't necessarily been successful with this pressure, but haven't been bothered by it either.
Looks like they were in a diamond and 1 or 1-2-1-1.
See the ball pulling on the inside. Nice patient offense in the Shelby County Athletic League Co-Player of the Year. Now up to a dozen and hitting her stride this half.
Yep. 9 of those here, 2nd half.
Trying to get the ball in the corner. Tipped away by Faith York. And she gets the rack and lays it in as Faith York cracks the box score. And we got a turnover there. Rushi put a little surprise pressure on. And this way, game starting to fall the way of the Raiders.
Yep.
Riley Hess, Felicity Harbor in for Newton. Two on the block, two in the corner. Here's will get it into Celeste Borchers. She'll give a shot fake back to Claudia Haney. Tried to get it to Poling, but nice job by Harbor to really post or to shade Poling there.
Newton's got to score, and they got to score in a hurry.
Harbor. Nice. Harbor on the inside. Her shot's no good. Rebound down to Haney. York, long cross-court pass, goes to Celeste Borchers. Back to York. York going to fire a three. It pops out. Rebound going to go down to Maya Denlinger. Driving baseline did Sakal. Kicks it back out to recess, trying not to make this her last game of her high school career. And we got a timeout on the floor. 41-23, 6:05 to go. All timeouts brought to you by Precision Strip. We'll step aside and come back with more basketball here on NK Toko Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
Back here on NK Toko Sports, and it's 41-23. The Raiders pulling away from the Newton Indians here and looking to get to their fourth straight district semifinal. Who would be waiting again is Covington or Troy Christian, but the Raiders really hitting their stride here now as there's an illegal screen on Newton. And who's that against? It's against Maya Sakal. Probably her fourth.
Yeah. She's the one that picked up those three quick ones there in the first quarter.
Shappy back to Haney. Haney back to Jayla Shappy. Coach Bayshore instructing Faith York to go get the basketball. Ball back to Ronnie Poling. Poling looking on the inside. Reverse course back to Jayla Shappy. Back to Faith York. York getting the instructions here. Back out to Addison Shappy. Shappy to the right side, goes around the screen. Back to Poling. Looks on the inside. Raiders could just afford to be patient here.
Yes, they can.
You're not really looking, you're not going to launch a three ball. Again, we said Rushi's not much of a three-point shooting team anyway. And he got it someone like Poling who does really well shooting-wise. You can get the ball to her or about on the block, and that's about all you're going to take. Just running offense, trying to get an open look. Shappy to Poling. To the left side, and Addison Shappy. They fake the screen and roll to the basket. Addison Shappy over to Claudia Haney, right side in Faith York. York will hand off to her cousin. Three cousins touch the ball. You got York, Haney, and Poling are all cousins. We got a foul. It's going to be against Reese Hess.
That's her second. Team foul number 2 here in the fourth quarter.
And then the other two on the floor, Jayla and Addison Shappy, are also cousins. Like I said, small towns.
Yep.
That's what happens.
Nice.
York on the inside. Beautiful cut. And Faith York with a big bucket, and Rushi is about putting this one away here. Felicity Harbor trying to extend her season. She's in double figures with 10. York gets around the defense, back over to Haney, to Shappy. High arcing three is buried by Addison Shappy. And Addison Shappy now with 9, actually 10.
10, yep. Largest lead, 21 points.
Ball tipped away and taken away by the Raiders. They hit that outlet and go. Shappy in the lane, off the glass. Addison Shappy's got a dozen. 48-25, the Raiders in control here.
Rushi's never trailed in this game. We were tied at 2, and that was it.
And they hit the first basket of the game from Hazel Francis. About 13 seconds into the contest, and there's a foul against Ronnie Poling.
It's going to be her third, only the first team foul on the Raiders in the fourth quarter.
Brooke Hines in the lineup for Newton. The trio of subs for the Raiders. Senior Lacey Flippo making her first appearance. Callie Gubo and Kylie Dosek into the lineup. 3 from Hess, left wing, off the mark. Offensive rebound, up and in for Brooke Hines, the senior. Newton trying to pressure here, Flippo with it. Flippo to Callie Gubo. Gubo back to Faith York. Right side to Kylie Dosek. Back to Haney to Gubo. Side Kylie Dosek, her shot's blocked. Kicks it out to Flippo. Flippo back to Callie Gubo. Haney back to York. Goes to the corner to Lacey Flippo. Callie Gubo gonna fire a 3 with a hand in her face, and she buries it. Shades of her sister Reese, who was a sharpshooter for the Raiders. Her sister Reese made a lot of those three-pointers in a Raider uniform, who graduated last year. There's a foul on the inside.
Fouls on Claudia Haney.
And Esty Rapp going to come in for Riley Hess. So we got a full timeout, 2:14 to go. Rushi ahead of Newton, 51-27. We'll step aside and come back with the remaining time here next on NK Telco Sports.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Back here on NK Telco Sports, it's 51-27. Arusha ahead of Newton, and pretty much the nail in the coffin here. And Arusha will head on to a district semifinal for the 4th consecutive year here at Sydney's Sydney High School here at the Hive, and probably want a rematch from the Covington Bucks, who they fell to in December. There's a foul out front on Gubo. That was a game they lost 44-37. That was a game, really, that was very interesting. A team that, if you talk to Coach Bayshore, we'll probably will before we have our game with him on Monday. Really a Rushi team that looks a lot different from that Covington game the first time. Now, Covington's obviously got to beat Troy Christian, but a different team from when they played Covington then. I think Rushi's turning point was right before Christmas. They lost to New Bremen. They got routed by Laramie, which, granted, who hasn't Laramie routed this year? They really, after that, is when they started to take off. They defeated Parkway back in the middle of January, and after that, they really took off.
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, they were 8-3. So after that blowout loss to Fort Laramie, then they started hitting their stride, and at one time they had won 6 in a row before losing the last 2 before the tournament.
Second shot no good by Hess. We've got a trio of substitutions. Cora Dosek and Maddie Haney in the lineup. And Courtney Flippo as well, mostly junior varsity players for Coach Luke Dayport, who had a very successful season.
Reese Hess picks up her third foul.
And coming into the lineup will be Riley Hess. Maya Sakal going to line up. Will be the last game in the careers of Brooke Hines and Reese Hess. So congratulations to those guys on a successful career. They're going to end up with a 500 record at 12-12 and a 5th place finish in the Western Ohio Athletic Conference and a tournament victory. Most importantly, as there's a double dribble up ahead, and Newton will flip the basketball right back to the Raiders.
5 turnovers here on the Indians in the fourth quarter, 7 in the second half. 17 overall.
Cora Dosek on the right side. Tried to get it to her sister Kylie, but just too much on that pass there. Up to Hess, shot no good.
Just hadn't been her night.
No.
After scoring 31, Rushi's held her to 8 so far.
And she averages up 14.5 a game, which is good for third in the Western Ohio Athletic Conference, was first team WOAC. And behind Player of the Year, Taylor Woodbury, who was out of Mississinawa Valley. There's a foul on Newton. Last one to give there. And that WOAC's had some successful teams. Tri-Village, defending state champions. Mississinawa pieced together a very nice season. Arcanum, very solid team. Towards the top end. Newton just right outside that top, right behind Dixie. Arcanum, Tri-Village, and Tri-Village and Mississinawa Valley. That was the other one. But a conference that is very interesting. I'm familiar with it, but a conference that's really stretched out very far. You go about as far north as Bradford, and then you can go all the way to Preble County and play Preble Shawnee.
Wow. And
you go as places like Tri-County North, Twin Valley South, Dixie, New Lebanon. So it's a very big, wide-ranging conference.
Yes.
So the Raiders turn it over, but there's some schools that kind of divide it in two. You kind of got your northern sections where you got Ansonia, Arcanum, Franklin Monroe, Newton, and Bradford. And then you kind of got your southern region where it's Twin Valley South, Tri-County North, Preble, Shawnee, Dixie, and all those guys down there. And National Trail, the other one, in Mississinawa Valley. But so an 11-team conference that's only in its third season. Haney is fouled, and she'll get 2 free throws.
Yep.
She hasn't played varsity all year, so chance at some varsity points for Maddie Haney. Developed really well on the JV roster.
That's her 5th foul, Hess's 5th foul.
And Riley Hess giving a hug to her sister Reese, who played together for the last time here this season. His first free throw off the mark. And Haney's second free throw is good.
Safe to say, first career point, varsity point.
Yep, it is. 999 to go to that magical 1,000. Shot is up and in for Brooke Hines to cap off her career, and the Rushi Raiders take home a tournament victory by the final score of 52-30. You caught it here live on NK Telco Sports. As Craig tallies up the final statistics, we will thank our sponsors here tonight on NK Telco Sports, because without them, we'd not be able to bring you high school girls action. is Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, the Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, the St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. Our scoreboard sponsors, the First National Bank, Keys to the Game, Keyhole Pizza, Timeout sponsor, Precision Strip. Our player of the game, which Craig and I will bring you momentarily, is brought to you by NK Telco. Our mid and post-game stats are sponsored by Green Lake Health Systems. And our live view sponsor here at Sydney is Cargill. I'd like to remind you that NK Telco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NK Telco Cable or the NKT.TV app on Channel 156, February 21st at 6 p.m., and on Channel 3 in high definition on 503, March 19th at noon and March 20th at noon. You can also watch more games live via pay-per-view through nktelco.com/sports and more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. As Craig continues to tally up the final, let's take a look at the box score here tonight. For Newton, they were led with Felicity Harbor in double figures with 10. Reese Hess tonight with 8, 7 for Brooke Hines, 2 for SD Rapp, and 3 for Riley Hess. For Russia here tonight, they got 12 points from Ronnie Poling, 6 from Claudia Haney, 3 from Callie Gubo, 4 from Faith York. Addison Shappy tonight with 12, Celeste Borchers with 1, Maddie Haney with 1, and then Hazel Francis with 13. Our scoring by quarters was Rushi 9, Newton 6. Rushi led at the half 24-12. Rushi led at the end of three quarters 37-23. And the final here tonight in the sectional final is Rushi 52 and Newton 30. Rushi will advance to take on the winner of the two teams you see warming up, Troy Christian and Covington, in a district semifinal matchup, which will be played right here at Sydney High School. That game will tip off right at 6 o'clock, so no change in the tip time from the game you saw here tonight. They'll play at 6 o'clock on Monday here at the Hive. That's a game we'll be covering here live on NK Telco Sports. So if you're interested in buying the coverage here, you can buy the pay-per-view here. And here with our numbers brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems, Craig Lau.
And you already did the individual scoring, yep. Craig? Okay. So looking at Rushi, shooting-wise, they were 20 of 51 overall from the field for 39%, 17 of 41 from 2, 3 of 10 from beyond the arc. From the free throw line, they were 9 of 14 for 64%. For Newton, 13 of 40 overall for 33%, 11 of 28 from two-point land, 2 of 12 from beyond the arc. Free throws, they were 2 of 6 for 33%. Looking at the rebounds, Rushi won the battle of the boards 36-21, 16-8 on the offense and 20-13 on the defense. And looking at turnovers, Newton had 17 and Rushi had 12 total turnovers. So congratulations to the Rushi Raiders.
And one more order of business before we leave here tonight. We name our player of the game, brought to you by NK Telco, and that player is going to be
Hazel Francis, the freshman, honorable mention for, freshman in the Shelby County Athletic League. She got the first bucket of the game. She had 10 points at halftime. She got Rushi going there when they started pulling away. So congratulations to Hazel Francis, the NK Telco player of the game.
That'll do it for us. If you want to watch Covington and Troy Christian, you can buy that pay-per-view too, but we're going to step aside and take a little break. We'll come back with the pregame in about 14 minutes or so of Covington and Troy Christian. More girls high school basketball coming up here, but for the final time from the Hive here tonight, Rushi defeats Newton 52-30. We'd like to thank our crew here again, Austin Nambergy back in the station for Craig Lau. I'm Brandon Koverman. You've been watching a production of girls high school basketball on NK Telco Sports.